A very good afternoon to you, William. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Looking at the NEC 20.
Good afternoon, Mashudu.
Afternoon. Really looking at the NEC 20, clawing back some of those positive gains we saw coming through last week. What did you make of the performance on the bourse today?
Well, I would say it's just the market adjusting itself in the face of profit taking, because we expect that the market would continue to grow and even get to the point of 3,700, given a contribution from the banking sector, manufacturing, and several other sectors. So it's something short term that we'll probably be able to get over of and get growing as we were last week.
Now, looking at the likes of Mumias Sugar, we know that the CEO recently left the company for politics. Company is still on an upward trajectory. In today's trading session, moved around 2.33 million shares. What are your thoughts on Mumias Sugar?
Yeah, I mean, Mumias has surprised many of us. First, it took positively the exit of Evans Kidero, the CEO. It has continued to rally over the past few months, notwithstanding the changes. So it looks like there is a great investor confidence in it. But more importantly, I think right now there is speculative pressures coming in ahead of the announcement of NDA results, so that those who are not in would want to get a piece of the cake.
What kind of results are you expecting out of Mumias Sugar when they do release results?
Well, Mumias Sugar is in an industry where demand always exceeds supply. You won't expect anything less than stellar. I mean, given the performance in the years has been good, and we cannot say that there was drought in the last 1 year to the extent that their raw materials was unavailable, and so I would still expect good performance, probably much more than was reported last year.
Now, looking at a new regulation that's due to come through in Kenya now, the beer and wine consumers are really set to feel the pinch, with the prices set to increase or to change after 3 months. What is this likely to do to the likes of East African breweries going forward?
Well, East African breweries has survived some very tough times in the past. First, it was the alcohol law, famously known as Masutha law, which essentially locked out the business of alcohol until between several hours. That essentially reduced their income portfolio to a great deal. But beyond that, now it's sorry, the Ministry of Finance has applied the sin tax, which means that the prices will go higher, and this will essentially reduce the patrons, the number of patrons that EABL has, and that in the long run will affect the fundamentals or the bottom line of the company. But as of now, investors are aggressive and are hoping for good results, so they are buying everywhere.
Now, let's touch on a stock like Cooperative Bank, coming under pressure quite significantly today. My data shows that it's down about 17.39%, sitting at 11 Rand 40. This really after that it started trading without that rights to a 145 bonus share issue. What are your thoughts on Cooperative Bank? Could we perhaps see such trading to continue on the stock?
Well, the Cooperative Bank is right now suffering from too much supply and very little demand, because after the bonus issue, I mean the rights issue, you'd expect that those who are interested in the stock already had it, and those who had it actually probably have too much. And so some of them are hoping to let go of a few shares here and there. Now, that will affect the counter in a manner that you'll see the prices go down, as it has today. In the long run, however, it will take a moment before the counter adjusts itself and firms up to market pressures.
Looking at Kenya Airways, it didn't receive as much activity like Cooperative Bank. Your thoughts on Kenya Airways at this stage?
Well, Kenya Airways has had quite a difficult year. What you would call a series of unfortunate events. I think they have something in common with the Greeks. But that said, I mean, first it was the rights issue, which was undersubscribed, and then very poor results that were announced. And I think probably the only good news they have had is the reduction in fuel prices. But that said, now that the counter is back in the market strong after the 12th, that the shares that were bought are now in the market, you would expect again that it will have the same problems as Cooperative Bank, that there is too much supply and very little demand. And so in the short run, that would still be experienced. But we are hoping that after a while, the company will firm up and the share will be attractive again.
A company that's due out with results tomorrow is Centrum Investments. What are your thoughts on the type of results we could see coming out of Centrum Investments? And perhaps let's get an outlook for the stock going forward.
Well, very few people enjoy it when the interest rates are high. Investment companies like Centrum Investment would be one of them. Given that there are very high interest rates in the country and they invest in fixed securities, sorry about that, it would be expected that they might have gotten something good out of it. And so the results will definitely be beautiful as compared to several other players in the financial field. But going forward, obviously after that, it will create a very, very high demand on the counter. Now, when you, a counter like Centrum, which is always a little in demand, so to speak, would be very attractive to as many as possible.